Dragon Ball Legends is about to change forever with the inclusion of supporters. So, we've known that supporters were going to be added into the game sometime in the future, and that time is going to be this week, Friday, alongside the brand new GT-LF unit. And the reason why this is such an interesting topic to talk about right now is the fact of the way it's going to be changing the game. So, the only supporter that we know of right now is Dende, which, side note, I think it's really cool because they finally made a model for Dende in the game, so we're getting a bit more diversity, but it comes down to like character representation in the game. So I'm hoping that we start getting a bit more, out there, more obscure characters than before. But that aside, we do know that the very first supporter is going to be Dende, and if I recall correctly, it's when one of your units' health reaches 50% or below, and your opponent's combo ends, Dende will swoop in and heal that unit, so that way they can keep on fighting. So it's going to add like that extra element to the game where it's not really just as straightforward as I'm stuck in, I can't do anything, and then bam, my unit is gone. Or at least on paper, because there are units out there that can combo for a very, very long time, and even if you swap, to however many characters you may have left, they can just steamroll one of them, or maybe steamroll more than one if they have the opportunity. It's a lot of nonsense can happen, right? But I do think the concept of what Dende is going to do specifically as a supporter is cool, but there is also one thing I am slightly worried about for his supporter ability specifically, and that is the potential length of battles lasting far too long. Now, that has been a thing here and there, but with the extra inclusion of supporters that's going to heal your units on top of units that have endurance, indestructible, revival, succession, comeback, things of the sort, it's gonna potentially make battles last a bit longer. And it's already getting to the point where some battles are lasting all the way up to time. So I do think that they need to have some sort of balance when it comes down to the pacing of battle, if you will. I'm not saying make units overly broken or make supporters abilities pathetically weak, but some sort of middle ground where the supporters do have a strong benefit, which I'm sure that they will just in general, right? But not to the point where if you have supporters on your team, then battles will never end. You know what I mean? So we'll see what they do when it comes down to the newer supporters that they add into the game alongside Dende. But the thing is, as of this recording, about I think it's about 13 or 14 hours ago, we actually did get an update from the official Dragon Ball Legends Twitter accounts. And the account showed that, pretty much this tweet says, new supporter info. In addition to Dende, who has already been announced, another supporter is coming. Details will be revealed on 9/10 at 1400 UTC during Legends information. Be sure to tune in. Now, remember, I will be out of town. So when it comes down to reacting to the new supporter and the new units, I will try to get a reaction up, but I will be out of town. So my reaction might end up being uploaded very late. I'm not talking about an hour or two late. I'm talking about maybe 14 or 15 hours late. And that's bare minimum, but I digress. So when it comes down to who the next supporter could be, they mentioned that it's going to be a character that is already a battle character. So it says specifically, an existing battle character is debuting as a supporter too. Now, here's the thing. We have a lot of characters in Dragon Ball, but if we're gonna be focusing on characters like Dende, who is fairly obscure and is focusing on supporting the team, there's really only one character who's in the game, and also based off of the current campaign that we're in right now, which is technically the GT campaign, that would fit that mold, and that would be Giru. Now, you guys might be wondering, Giru, what are you talking about, right? We do have Giru as a quote-unquote battle character in Dragon Ball Legends. He himself isn't necessarily fighting in the front line, but he is part of the assist unit for Pan, Trunks, and Giru. And seeing that this is GT focused, if it's not Giru specifically, the only other character it could realistically be is Pan. That's it. Now, I don't know what, okay, maybe with Giru, right? Maybe his support ability can be a bit more offensive, right? Where, for example, you get to 50% or below health and when your opponent's combo ends, Giru comes in and shoots a rocket towards your opponent, and they take like extra damage, right? To kind of get them from, to back off a little bit, maybe force your opponent to swap if their health gets too low, or whatever the case may be. Probably doesn't knock out the opponent, but it deals decent damage, right? Hence support. Or it could be Pan. Maybe she can have something alongside being able to acquire the Dragon Balls, but that type of support ability would be something that actually terrifies the crap out of me, because if we have supporters that allow you to get the Dragon Balls even easier, that's not going to be a fun experience, because at that point we might end up having to deal with getting triple rushed. But at the same time, I mean, heck, we have units with like 2 comeback mechanics. We have KO guard, we have like endurance, we have revival, we have everything. So at that point, I don't know. But still, I really am curious to see like who that next supporter is going to be, and the way how they're gonna go about utilizing this brand new mechanic, if you will, right? Because again, on paper, it sounds like a really cool idea. It really does, right? Characters that are more than likely gonna be a lot more obscure, or it could be existing characters, doesn't matter, but they play a different role than what we've been accustomed to for the past 7 years. So to have them come through, be represented in the game in some sort of way, shape, or form, and play like a big role in the battle like system is cool. But there is the other side where, as cool as it sounds on paper, if they don't play their cards right, it could be a really either annoying or just straight up just non-beneficial feature. Now, I have faith with something like, this, where it's just brand new, that they're gonna cook, and they're gonna make this into something that a lot of people will be excited to actually have on their teams. Because again, like this is gonna be something that's going to impact like PvP, whether people like are ready for it or not, right? So I want people to be excited for something like this, and I'm hoping that when it drops, it will be something people will be excited for, even if it's just to see like, okay, how's it gonna work with this team? Like, is it gonna work like really well if this happens? Like, for example, right? Let's say KO guard, right? Goku's KO guard activates when he's in, just as an example, right? You lose all your health, Goku comes back to life with like a certain amount of health, and then maybe since you already died, like Dende also swoops in and then gives you more health, bam, you're back to full health type thing. Or maybe like, you're getting comboed, and then your health is like at 50% or below, and then Dende goes and heals Goku, then you have full health again, or around full health, who knows? And then from there, you can kind of preserve your KO guard for a much more critical moment, right? Things of the sort, like it can be tailored to like change up how you approach battle, right? And I guess in a sense, like I kind of view supporters in a similar fashion to how support characters worked in Super Dragon Ball Heroes, where obviously you have like your main team and they do their thing, but your supporter is there to give you that extra edge, right? That flows with your team to either give you more firepower, more health, or whatever the case may be. Like, just, it can help. And I'm curious to see like how it's gonna work. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. But we'll find out on Friday. Again, I will be out of town. I've been saying this like all over, like, Twitter, Discord. I did even make a YouTube post about this, so I want everybody to know. Again, I will be out of town, and I'll be out of town starting a few hours before the reveals and stuff. I'll be out of town a few hours before the Legends information starts. So around 14 to 15 hours after that point, then I'll be able to potentially make a video, and I'll try to get it uploaded as fast as I can. So we'll see how that works, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get Genshin Squadron content out there while I'm gone. So there will be content uploaded. It may not be focused on Legends, but at the very least, I'll try to get some Genshin Squadron content out there. And once I settle to like where I'm going, then I will try to see if I can get content recorded over there to upload for you guys to enjoy, including the new characters that will drop as well. But still, apart from all that though, supporters are coming on Friday, and I am excited to see how they're gonna work. But I do want to know what you guys think about supporters, alongside who the new supporter will be, in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.